This is Lawrence Sanek at the Home Seller Home Buyer Podcast. Today we'll bring you episode HS3. We'll be talking about what the agent does for the home seller and what the home seller has to do when they decide they want to go it alone and be a FSBO, a for sale by owner. Okay, let's get started on some of the major issues that have to be taken care of when selling a home. All of these are covered by the agent when you're using an agent, but since you elect to be a FSBO, for sale by owner, it will be you, the owner, that is responsible to complete these to be able to get your transaction to close. When you sell your home yourself, you have limited exposure to qualified buyers. The reason is the qualified buyers are working with real estate professionals to find their dream home, which theoretically means your home will take longer to sell on the market. Well, if it takes longer to sell, the buyers then think that there's something wrong with the home, so if you have a reduced number of showings, then you think it's price, so then you reduce the price of the home. And when a buyer is looking at a home, they always feel awkward to negotiate or even talk directly with the seller and therefore avoid the FSBO, the for sale by owner property. Real estate professional has been trained to overcome objections and negotiate the successful home sale transaction. You have no way of screening buyers who call and want to see your home, so you may be compromising the safety of you and your family. If you use a lawyer to negotiate your real estate offer, then your lawyer's fees will be applied on an hourly basis, not on a set commission. You pay a commission to the real estate broker if they successfully sell your house at a price acceptable to you. During that time, the real estate broker absorbs all marketing costs, not the seller. But if you're going to do the marketing, it'll be your responsibility to pay for the advertising at the time it is placed. Accepting an offer for your home is one thing. Ensuring a safe and successful closing of a real estate transaction is quite another. Real estate transactions sometimes have problems to be resolved near the closing. This is the time that you need to have someone experienced and be very helpful in acting as a mediator for you. Lawyers must act only on their client's instructions, although they can negotiate for the seller, but the seller will be billed for all time spent on the negotiation process. Where if you had listed this with an agent, the negotiation process is covered in the commission that is paid, and there's no additional cost. If you decide to sell your home yourself without the assistance of an agent, you can save the commission, maybe. However, make sure you know what you're getting into first. Learn about what the process entails, whether it's a good idea for your situation, and where to get help if you decide to go alone. Above all, get to know the market well enough that you don't end up selling the home for less than it's worth, or not selling at all because it was overpriced. What are some of the tasks involved in selling a home? The closer you look, the more little tasks are revealed as crucial in preparing, marketing, and successfully selling your home. The most important tasks that a real estate agent will normally perform for you include, but are limited to, the ones I'm going to mention. You will need to do these, including those that I have not mentioned. 1. Evaluating the local market and finding comparable home values so that you can then set the appropriate listing price. Finding someone to advise you on how to best present your home, including providing referrals to painters, repair people, etc. Helping coordinate preparation of disclosures and other needed and required forms and documents. You'll have to create advertising material, arrange for photographs, both interior and exterior. It'll be your responsibility to place ads on the multiple listing service. That's if the MLS allows a non-member to do this. And in other media like Facebook, Twitter, and syndication to other media to potentially interested buyers in your home. Arranging for individual visits to the property. If you're no longer there, most likely by providing a lockbox for use by other realtors and making arrangements to meet with the individuals who don't have their own agent. And you have to decide how you're going to handle the agents that want to show and possibly sell your home. How will you handle their compensation? Agents have the ability to find FSBO homes, so they can not only take their qualified buyers to FSBO homes, they can take those to the MLS and other home builders. You will have to answer questions, provide disclosure documents, put packets together that go to the interested buyer or their agent, holding one or more open houses, possibly including one during the weekday for real estate brokers to visit. And to get them to visit, you will have to notify all the surrounding offices that you are going to be doing this. And when you do this, you're going to have to approach the subject of compensation, how you're going to compensate a broker that has sold your home. When you receive an offer to buy your house, how are you going to receive it? Email, mail, in person? And then you're going to have to evaluate that offer to check the strength of each offer and strategize on issues like whether to accept or reject an offer outright, to make a counteroffer, and whether to look for or arrange a backup offer. Negotiate with the buyer's agent until the purchase contract is complete. All this task may fall on an attorney in states where legal help is required. You will have to select a title company or attorney to handle the receipt of the escrow money deposit and the closing. You will have to coordinate with the buyer's agent throughout the escrow period, helping to make the house available for inspections and appraisals and making sure you're doing your part to close the deal. You will have to strategize over requests made while in escrow, such as for reduction in price due to repair issues revealed in the inspection. Yes, buyers do inspections, and this is one of the reasons that they can turn around and decline making an offer on your house and closing on the deal. Or worse yet, finding out the home didn't appraise. Now your home didn't appraise, now what are you going to do? How are you going to negotiate with the buyer's agent and come to an agreement? You have to attend the closing. Before all of this needs to be completed, you will need to determine a process in determining that the buyer is qualified. Yes, you want to make sure the buyer is qualified, because if you find out the buyer is not qualified and you have taken your home off the market, it will have been off the market for a period of time and you may have missed a qualified buyer. Sound like a lot? That's just the beginning. Indeed, it can be a full-time, night, weekend job, and while your house is on the market, you will have to be available to have buyers come in and preview it. As any agent will tell you, it's not all glamorous. Selling a house without an agent is called a FSBO. As you might have already guessed, people who try it usually develop some appreciation for how agents earn their commission and why they will never do it again. If you want to go it alone, be sure you have the time, energy, and ability to handle all of the details. Disadvantage of selling your own home? You have to rely on your own instincts. Marketing and advertising costs are your own and can be an expensive proposition. Getting your property into the MLS, that's if the MLS will allow you to put your home on the MLS as a non-member. Finding the international MLS, multiple listing service, so that you can present your home to international buyers. Without all the tools in your hand, you may underprice or overprice the home. Knowing how much your home can be worth in today's market is one of the first steps in beginning to market your house properly. If you are not skilled in negotiation, you may leave money on the table. All the paperwork, legal forms, etc. are your responsibility and must be handled by you. If you want maximum benefit to your efforts, your free time will be somewhat or severely limited. Many buyers believe that if you're selling on your own and not paying a commission, it is they, the buyer, who should get the savings, not you. As you approach negotiations, you must sever emotional ties with your property or you will be at a distinct advantage. The most important consideration if you are selling the home yourself, if you do not know the laws with respect to the Civil Rights Act of 1964 or the Federal Fair Housing Act, you could end up with more trouble and costs than what you want. Thank you for listening to episode HS3. We are grateful for the time you have taken to listen to this podcast, and we look forward to your input on what you would like to hear about in future podcasts. You can find the show notes at www.homesellerhomebuyer.com, and you can leave your comments, questions, and suggestions there, or you can email us at info@homesellerhomebuyer.com. Tell your friends, family, and coworkers about Home Seller Homebuyer Podcast. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to listen to the Home Seller Homebuyer Podcast, and catch us on the next episode. Thank you for listening, and stay informed.